After a 2-hour tank battle in Stumont, German armor was running on fumes and forced to pull back. No one expected a counteroffensive so soon after. German forces in the area may outnumber our troops, but their fuel shortage gives us an unforeseen advantage. The town of St. Vith, lying on an important crossroad near the mouth of the Losheim Gap, has become a linchpin in the Germans' desperate offensive. On December 21st, after being on the chopping block for days, our GIs were forced to pull back in the face of overwhelming enemy numbers. Our boys regrouped and retook the town, routing the enemy. They now defiantly hold on to its strategic areas, preparing for a heavy German counterattack. Despite stiff resistance by our troops, the town of Stavelot fell before the Germans' unrelenting advance. Left behind were the town's fuel reserves, which are desperately needed by the Germans to drive their war machine forward. Now the American army has regrouped and is scrambling to retake Stavelot and deny the enemy this much-needed fuel. Around the town of Uron, 2 bridges span the River Ur. These bridges have played a key role in the German offensive. Although our boys put up a stubborn defense, the enemy was able to capture the bridges, using them to rapidly move armor and men into Allied territory. Now it's up to the men of the US forces to take back these crossings, staunching the flow of Germans into the Ardennes. The town of Eschdorf has switched hands several times in the fight for the Ardennes. Most recently, the enemy established a strong presence in the area, transforming it into a major supply hub. With a well-equipped and experienced force guarding Eschdorf, the Germans think the area is untouchable, but they are mistaken. As we speak, our brave men are preparing a night assault on the town, aiming to cripple the German supply chain. When the Germans rushed into the Ardennes, they effectively split the Allied forces in half. Now, Army North and South are fighting to reconnect. Their aim is to meet in the town of Uffelies, which lies right in the middle of the German advance. In the north, the First Army has engaged the enemy in fierce battle, while their counterpart in the south rushes to join the fray. The German war machine relies heavily on command and control. This has been no different in the Ardennes offensive. Sources tell us that the enemy has consolidated a vast array of command structures around the town of Espelay. Should our boys make a move, any strike would undoubtedly come under the cover of night. Such action could cripple the Germans' ability to coordinate before they know what's hit them. After a bitter defeat in the Ardennes, German forces are limping back to hide behind their defenses. Now it's time for our boys to press their hard-won advantage. Before taking the fatherland itself, Allied forces must claim the area west of the Rhine. Lying between them and their goal is the infamous Siegfried Line. Its defenders are armed to the teeth with anti-aircraft emplacements, artillery, and countless Oberkommando forces. Even so, our brave boys are undeterred, aiming to hit the Germans with everything they've got.